Hey y'all, CourtneyLyons here with Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and today we are learning how to kit up, or more specifically how I kit up, because a lot of people do things differently. Alright, so I'm working on Ye Old Stitching Room. It's a Dreamer Designs, and you can see that I have already started this kit up. I figured that would be easier because it is a long kit up to kind of show you where I am, especially so you could see more specifically how I've lined up my colors. So this is the picture, the sticker picture, and one of the important things is that I actually did this already and I'm voicing over now. So my storage right now, as you can see, is the Elizabeth Ward, and I'm also using the Huacan knockoff of the Elizabeth Ward storage system, and that's I believe this is the Elizabeth Ward, and the other one, no, this is the Huacan one, that one right there. I have a video coming out. It'll come out before this one, so, of a review of that, so check that one out. So I was gonna show you, I wanted to show you where I started with this bigger one, where I used 3 bags to fill up this bigger one because we had 3 bags of this brownish color. So with Elizabeth Ward, you can see it opens on that one side, and this is my first time I used it, and you can see it's a little bit tight. So you have to make sure that's going to stay open for you. And these are the 3 bags of this one color. And so I'm definitely going to need that bigger one right there. So here I am cutting it up, and the important thing to note when I'm cutting it up is, do you see how I use the one corner that doesn't have the sealed edge? And that's important to note because it's a lot easier to pour. Also, some people will pour it into a diamond painting tray before they pour it into the container. I just find that to be an extra step. All right, you can see here, I put my bag up above me, away from I guess I moved it to the side here, away from my other bags that I'd already used because I don't want to mix them up. And you're going to see here soon, actually kind of close to the end, I already mixed up those 2 colors and I don't know it. I don't know it at the moment. I'll find out later. That left one, the one just to the left, it's like the tent sign right there, is actually the one that goes on this one. And you see that? Okay, no, I did notice it. See, right here is where I notice it. Because I'm like, shoot, it's something 918, and that's the bag I just poured in there. So I was like, oh no. And that's why it's so important to make sure your bags don't get switched up and that you're really paying attention, because that would like change your whole painting. So it's a good thing I caught this on camera so you can see. And sometimes when you get a sticker out, like a really good way to do it is to get your finger right underneath where you're pulling it up. Now this is not coming up for me, so then I also take the scissors and this also doesn't work, by the way. I think what I end up doing is taping it. We'll see. Anyway, it kind of already sticks on there. It's gonna be interesting to try to take all of this off afterwards. I'm going to have to look up something on how to dekit, maybe give you guys some of my tips and tricks. So now here I go. I'm going to put the correct sticker on in a second here. And you see that fabric looking thing inside there? That is meant to be in there. Those are dryer sheets. So I'm going to show you what I do with that in a little bit, because this kit was really weird with static. Some of them had a ton of static and some of them had none. There really wasn't a lot in between. It was either like crazy amount of static in a bag and then not a lot in another one. So you can see I left my bag to the left of me that says the 318, so that's there. And then you'll see what I do with the bag after. So these bags in particular do not have static. So you'll see here, I'll also show you the trick, how to kind of guess if it's going to have static or not. And there you go. And notice how I didn't put the sticker back on quite yet. And I'm going to show you why in this next kit up part. So here's the old sticker. It's still pretty sticky, if I remember correctly. And I put it upside down, that's right. It's pretty fun to watch what I do afterward, having to do a voiceover after. I'm sorry about that. I wish I'd caught the audio better. It had a lot of interruptions anyway, so it's probably for the best. All right, but do you see? Yeah, here we go. Those are my extra stickers, and that's a trick you can use on these already pre-made stickers that a lot of the nicer diamond painting kits will send with you. And I could have completely redone it, or like you saw, I just kind of pushed down the rest of it with that sticker, and that will bother what I call my OCD. But okay, did you see the way I threw those off to the side? I was kind of being dramatic about it, but I moved those completely away, those used bags, because I do not want them mixing up with the ones that I'm doing now. Okay, so this is important to know. I'm guessing the size, so I'm not going to put the sticker on yet. So the order in which you put the sticker on is really important. So I'm going to guess that there's going to be 2 of them that fit in there. And also, can you see, I'm pointing out that when you pull, like when you shake the bag and the drills go to the bottom, if there's still drills at the top like that, that means you're going to end up with static. So I get my container ready. And did you see how I got those dryer sheets that I had cut up? So this is what I do to get rid of the static. And notice I have not put the sticker on yet, because sometimes you don't know if it's going to fit in that container and you don't want to put the sticker on. You saw what happened when I had to redo the sticker. Okay, you see all that static right there? So I go and I pour this in. And like I said, a lot of people will pour it into a diamond painting tray first. I just find that more difficult, especially with static. So here, I take the dryer sheet and I put it inside the bag. And I scrape the sides with it. I guess scrape's not, wipe is better word for it. I wipe the sides with the dryer bag to get off, or the dryer sheet to get off of, you're just removing the static. I mean, that's what it does inside the dryer, right? And then I leave the bag in there when I pour it in, because I want to have that inside my, my container, because that's going to stop future static when I go to pour it into my diamond painting tray. And you can see I still have some in there, and there's still static on the sides there. But if you put a few dryer sheets in there and you shake it up, I mean, it's gonna mostly get rid of that static. So here I get another one, and I'm going to wipe the sides up again, and it's gonna be so much easier to put it in. Now, I haven't found a very good foolproof way to do this. Another way is if there's only just a few drills like that, I'll blow air from my mouth into the bag, and that actually does help a lot. The problem is sometimes I end up with them like shooting into my mouth. It's not pleasant. My kids they think it's funny because they say that the diamonds are alive when they're staticky like that. They do their own thing. So yeah, you can see this bag is just a staticky. So I'm gonna do the same thing and get as many down there as I can too. And that's where I'm pointing out where you want to cut, because you don't want to cut along that outer edge where you're going to have that sealed spot. Do you see where I cut it right there in that corner? Because that's where I want to pour, because then you don't have that sealed corner that's going to make things a lot messier. And notice I still haven't put the sticker on yet, and now I do know that it's going to fit on there, but I didn't know that to begin with. Here I go with my dryer sheet. Wipe the edges. It really does help a lot. I mean, there's just static just makes it a longer process to begin with, and I haven't tried a lot of other different ways besides the blowing method, where you blow hot air in there, which does help actually, and then the wiping with the dryer sheet. And eventually you can take those dryer sheets out, because you're not going to need them after a while. It will mostly take the static away. But yeah, for the first little bit, you keep it in there. Oh, another trick right here that I show you. If you have a bunch of drills that have fallen, you can just push your finger up against it and it'll lift. If it doesn't lift, you can lick your finger and then you can put it in. Okay, do you see how I put my bag off to the side like that? That way I know that is the one for sure. You can see that I didn't get rid of some of those bags. I had kids running around me this whole time, and it got pretty sloppy, to be honest. So I mean, it was in a controlled environment, but I just mean I got distracted easily. Okay, so that's when I put the sticker on, when I'm done pouring it in, because nothing is worse than pouring the whole thing in there and then not being able to have it fit, having to redo the sticker. Okay, right here I'm showing you, I guess rewind it if you need to, the way I before I kit it up, I take the colors and I organize the colors by color, because that's how I will do it in my mind, how it works best. Like I love having, it's very aesthetically pleasing to have everything color coded. And I know other people will look at the symbols and group it by symbols. Like these symbols are similar. So I'm gonna put these together. These symbols seem to be grouped together on the painting. They'll go and look at the painting and group it together on the painting and be like, okay, that's how I want to organize it. And I haven't really tried that yet. Maybe I will. I imagine if I get anything more than if I get close to 100 colors or something like that, I think that would actually make the most sense to do it that way. A drill got stuck at the top there. So lots of different ways people do it. Honestly, with that, do it the way you want to do it, because this is an enjoyable craft. So if it's not enjoyable to you to have it color-coded where you're jumping around to all the different colors, then don't do it that way. Although a lot of times, you're not jumping around a bunch of different colors when you have it color-coded like this, because especially something like a landscape, all those green colors are going to be all in a very similar place because you're using it for shading and stuff like that. But yeah, I just like it because I think it looks nice this way. And I'm sure I'm not organizing the colors the way that is the most correct way to do it. I just do it the way I like it. Also, I did it the way that made sense for fitting with the different size containers in this Elizabeth Ward storage system. By the way, this is my first time using the Elizabeth Ward storage system. I think I already said that. And I love it. It's so nice. Very, very much love it. Okay, see how I kept that bag away from my other discarded bags because I did not want to forget. Pretty soon here, you're going to see that I throw away the bag before I put the sticker on, and I lose which one I did. Here you can see this one has static. I'm pointing that out. Anyway, so when I did throw that away, I was like, shoot, I don't remember which one. But then you'll see I'll just keep going. Don't panic, don't stress. You keep going until you use up most of the stickers, because the stickers themselves, you can see, have a very similar color to the drills they're going to be with. So by the end I got there, it was one of these red bags. By the end I got there and I was like, oh, well, I'll just see what's left. And then, yeah, I saw, oh, there's only one left. Everything else is grays and the black and the whites, and there's only one that has a burgundy background. So it's got to be this one. And sure enough, it was the correct one. So, yeah, don't panic. Just use the process of elimination to figure out which is the correct one. So, oh, also another tip, I was doing it over the tray because it just looked better to be able to have it over the tray. But obviously you'll notice how many times I drop drills into the tray. It got so frustrating by the end there because I was just having to, and after I finished the video, I went and picked it up. So, I had to go in and pull all those little things out and try to figure out which ones those extra drills fell into. But for the video, I did that just because it was nice to have the tray in the background and have everything fit, so I didn't have to be sliding everything back and forth. So, but a tip, don't do it over the tray, do it over the table, and have the tray off to the side, because it does drop in the tray. You're going to have drills that drop, and it's going to be much easier to pick those extra drills up when you're not doing it over the top of the tray with all those cracks in between. So, all right. So another thing that I was wanting to point out is that, I'm trying to remember, storage. What storage system is going to work best for you? So when you're kitting up, honestly, you just have to try a bunch of different kinds. The one thing I don't know if I'll like about the Elizabeth Ward storage system is that I don't know, those trays when you pop them open are really tight, and I'm sure it's just to begin with. And I was having to loosen them, so I take the scissors and I help click it open because I couldn't get it myself with with my fingers. And one time I totally popped it open too much and I broke it. And I was so mad. I was so sad. Oh, this is my son showing me Legos. So yeah, I had a lot of interruptions. This beautiful AB, oh my goodness. Oh, one thing I did notice is the ABs had no static. Like none of them had static. And I wonder if it's the AB covering, and not just this kit, like any of the kits that I've tried on ABs for any of them. For Diamond Art Club, even some of my cheaper AliExpress kits, the ABs did not have static. I don't know why. I'm sure it has something to do with the covering on it. So that was one of those times that I was worried. I'm like, I don't know if this one's going to fit in this size. So I'm really glad I didn't put the sticker on yet. But it did fit. There were a few times, I don't know if it shows up on these later ones, where I did have it be where it didn't fit and I had to re-put it in a different container. Okay, so pretty soon here, I think I'm going to make that mistake where I couldn't figure out what the next color was. I think it might be this one. We'll have to see. But anyway, I'm going to stick it into fast motion because this next part is pretty much the same thing of everything that I've been showing you. So I'm going to start that soon in just a second. All right, while this is in fast motion, I'm going to keep talking storage. So there's a few different types of lids. So there's this, Elizabeth Ward is kind of in its own thing. It clicks open from the side. There's also the Tic Tac containers, is what a lot of people like to call them, where they're kind of tall and thin, and they have a Tic Tac top too. I mean, if you've ever had Tic Tacs before. There's also the screwed lid kind, which I kind of prefer. I mean, I don't know if I found something yet. I have yet to actually start on this kit, so that's why I'm not sure yet about the Elizabeth Ward, if I like that one the best. But I do like it's my favorite kitting up with for sure. But yeah, Art Dot does where it's the circle one and the Tic Tac, but it's also in their own container, like a big bag. And I do really like that. I'm trying to figure out what to put this Elizabeth Ward storage container stuff in, like the containers, because I end up using 2 containers. So I'm not like just holding those separate with all my bag that I carry around, my pencil bag with all my other stuff in it. I have to figure all that out and figure out some sort of container I want to go around with. Oh my gosh, this one was insane with the confetti on this one. Anyway, okay, so I'm not going to talk too much about storage because, or the containers, just because that's something for another video. I mean, you kind of just have to find what works for you. So, but I will do a video on that. Another tip, I would recommend doing the whole kit up if possible in one sitting. All right, sorry about that. So in all the chaos of yesterday, I actually found out I didn't film the rest of it. So, but that's okay, because that was pretty much it. You can see that this is how it ended up with my color coding. Yeah, it turned out great. I love this system, but I'm gonna go right back into where I was earlier, to do it in one sitting, because if you just keep coming and going, that's when you're gonna lose drill bags. You're gonna like be like, where was I again? It's just gonna get frustrating. So when you kit up, find a time without kids, without interruptions, without having to like stop to do something for very long or have it take a few days at a time. Just sit and get it done. It is a really enjoyable process. I did not enjoy this one as much because, like I said, I had kids running around. I really wish I would have just waited. I was just so excited. I wish I would have just waited when I had chance to do this. So to do it right and sit down and not have stress about it, because I wouldn't have made mistakes like this, and I would have I wouldn't have made as many mistakes as I had. Yeah, so it's actually a very relaxing process if you sit and let it be relaxing and find time for it. Another thing to note, here it is right here. Leave yourself containers, and obviously I have plenty of containers left in this one. I'm actually kind of annoyed I wasn't able to fit in one because it's like one more row, but that's okay, it's not a big deal. Is to find yourself a time or 2 extra trays or containers. one for stray drills, and that's this one right here. Those were the drills where I'm like, I don't know which one this goes into, and I put it there because that's useful to have if you happen to have where you're like, I only need a couple more drills. You can be in your stray drill here and be like, you might be one of those, and be able to use that. It's just useful to have a stray drill container. And then an extra container, which I'm probably gonna use this one up here for trash drills. Maybe some people keep trash, some people don't. I just started with my Satura kit to keep the trash drills because I want to show the amount of trash and what kind of trash. Like that one, there's really not a lot of trash except that it has like they're resin, so they get the little resin bubbles at the top. And in some of the colors especially where they have a lot of that. So it's useful to keep a trash drill, especially if you want to see how much trash, or container, to see how many trash drills you ended up with. Or also in case, again, if there's one in particular color that has a lot of trash and you keep throwing trash drills away, but then by the end you don't have enough, you're gonna have to pick and choose between those trash drills at the end and be like, well, this one's not that bad, I'll use this. And so it really is just useful to have an extra spot for trash. Oh, I wanted to point out that I do have a missing color. Here, let me show you. This is inside. I always keep the sticker close by to show which kit this is so I don't mix it up with a different one. So I was missing this packet right here. Let me bring it closer. It's the 762, and I have to say Dreamer Designs has amazing customer service because, sorry, I have my tablecloth and one of the kids spilled juice there. Just push it out that way. I have kids, guys, mom life. Okay, so anyway, they have amazing customer service. I reached out to them. They answered back within the hour and said, hey, sorry that happened to you. Let me send that to you right away. It'll get processed and sent within such and such business days. And so those are probably already on the way here, and then I can start this one. So bummer that it wasn't in there. I'm positive it wasn't in there because even though I had kids running around, it was a pretty controlled environment. And yeah, but it happens, right? No one's perfect. And their customer service was great sending it to me. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for how I kit things up, guys. I would say my top things that I had with me is have your storage containers, have a trash can close by for those extra, for those, the bags from these that you can throw away as soon as you're done using it, because then it's not all over the table confusing you and being like, shoot, which one was it that I was using? And a lot of times too, if you throw it in the trash, the one you just used would be like right on top. So if you actually throw it away before looking at the number, which I do all the time, it's just right there on top. Another thing is definitely scissors. You're going to need those, obviously. And also you're going to want those cut up dryer sheets, just in case you have those right there. Squares of dryer sheets for static. You're going to want to make sure you have the sticker sheet close by, and you don't really need the legend for that. That's pretty much it for what you'll need. It doesn't take too much to kit up. I mean, I guess you could say also a good solid surface place to do it, because you're not going to do this on the couch. You drop anything and then it ends up all in the couch cushions, it's going to be all crap. So that's it, guys. That's my kit up process. It's how I've been doing all of them. One of these days I'll try to sort it by like symbol shape, because in my Satura kit, surprisingly, Diamond Art Club, there are a couple of them that are close enough that I'm getting a little confused and switching things off. There's two purples, and then that I keep switching in my mind. And the symbol, they're both purple, and the symbol's so similar that I'll definitely be letting Diamond Art Club know that in my post review. I mean, that one's just a dream to work on, so I really don't have many complaints, but it is something that I was like, shoot, there's a whole section I did the purple wrong, but it's close enough color, I didn't want to change it. And another couple that, yeah, it was just kind of the greens that were really similar that I'm sure are wrong in some spots, so. But yeah, when you have that many colors and that many symbols, it's hard to make sure you get that right. But okay, sorry, that's it. Let me know if you have any more questions. Let me know if there are things that you guys do down in the comments below. Let me know how you guys kit up, because I would certainly be happy to streamline my own process and get some tips and tricks from you guys too. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye.